Cheers, Lise. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you as well. Oh, good.
So good. Man, we have some news this week.
I can't wait to hear what people think of our new logo and our new theme song, our little jingle. Like, I feel so professional. We're like legitimate now.
It really has been an evolution. Honestly, it's so exciting. I cannot wait for our community to give us some feedback on what they think about how we've now packaged Pep Talks and Prosecco. It's so exciting.
I love that we are cartoons. Like, you look so pretty. I love it. I love it so much. I think it is perfect. I think it's totally us. And yeah, I can't wait for everyone to tell us what they think. And man, we've come so far already, and it's only been a couple of months.
I keep thinking of that Matchbox 20 song, How Far We've Come. That is it's an earworm for me right now. Just looking at what we've been able to accomplish in the last couple months, and it's scary starting out and trying to figure out what you're doing as in the process of doing it, and knowing that you have hundreds and hundreds of people watching you do this. And so to anyone who has started something, an adventure similar to this, man, it takes so much courage. But I am so glad that we didn't wait to have the theme song or the new image or the characters in place, the cartoon characters in place. I'm just glad that we took the risk together and said, you know what, we're just going to start. And it's going to be an evolution of Weather Will Group and an evolution of the two of us as well. And it's so exciting. And honestly, Lisa, probably one of my favorite pieces of the work that we've been doing is that we've been documenting everything, our conversations, from our very first meeting. We have our notes from our first meeting, and even our first video, right?
Yeah, and a not so flattering selfie.
But that's part of the process, right? And that's what makes you appreciate, or at least for me, it makes me appreciate where we are, and just really being in the moment right now, and enjoying that and recognizing that and being present. And it's been fabulous. I can't find the words right now, because it's just emotions of this whole process. And can I just share a little something that happened yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. So that relates to this completely. Is we were doing yard work, my husband and I, and we had this most amazing day. And so we were doing some yard work, and it dawned on me that this time last year, we were preparing for our oldest child to graduate grade 12. And our yard looked nothing a year ago to what it looks like now. And it looks really tidy right now, and the garden beds are well tended, and I would say 75% of the flowers are in, and the grass is looking well tended, and it just looks very well taken care of. And this time last year, that wasn't the case. And even though we had such a motivating factor, our oldest graduating grade 12, and we knew that we were going to have family and friends gather in our yard, I was completely emotionally, mentally, physically depleted. And it was a stress management piece that I simply just didn't have under control. And I was really thinking of that yesterday. I was like, I can't believe the difference a year has made, because I'll tell you this, the amount of stress has gone unchanged, without a doubt. But how I've built in habits, and it has been a long process, don't get me wrong, but it was in that moment that I was like, oh my gosh, how far I have come with dealing with my stress. And not that I don't have more work to do, but I really just took time to be in the moment and recognize that effort and that work and the payoff, and the difference in how I'm feeling and how I'm able to manage that. And it just relates into so many aspects of life, whether it be the work that you and I are doing with Will, whether it be in my professional life, whether it be in my personal life. I'm so thankful that I have built in my practice, that I have documented starting points, that I haven't tried to ignore them, that I embrace them, because I know when I have those moments of going back and being reflective on how far I've come, it just means so much more when you have that piece in place.
Awesome. 100%. That I'm so glad that you shared that, because it's so true that you know, that idea of becoming, and it's not perfect, it's messy, and sometimes some of our greatest triumphs, our greatest successes can't be seen to everyone else around us, because it's how those conversations with ourselves have shifted and how we view the world that have shifted. And you make such important points, and I loved what you said about starting before we were ready, and knowing that things don't need to be perfect. Just get started. We didn't really know exactly what Mother Will was going to look like, except that we knew we wanted to build a community. And sometimes I think perfection gets in the way of us really achieving our goals and implementing those habits, because we think everything has to be perfect before we can get started. And that's simply not true. Often I think perfection actually is self-destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really glad that you had that revelation yesterday, and it's so important to document and look back and never forget where we've come from. And I'm excited for the journey that we have ahead, and I know that we'll just keep getting better, and we'll look back on these few videos and probably roll our eyes and think, what were we thinking? But that's all part of the process.
We will have many, many good laughs. There's no doubt about it. I read one someplace, I can't remember where it was, otherwise I'd reference who said it, but you know, day one or one day, you get to choose. And I had a couple of people reach out to me this week, and one person's just starting on a bit of a wellness journey, and they're putting themselves out there, and they're posting videos and pictures of some of the things that they're doing as part of this wellness journey. And that's where the inspiration happens, is when you take the courage to do that. And I can't express that enough, of how much and how powerful that is, not just for you, but people that are important members of your cheer team. And then I had another friend reach out about, she was going to start running. She decided to start running, and she was asking about tips and tricks, and not really that I'm a runner. I'm a leisurely jogger every once in a while. And my comment to her was, don't be so focused so much on time and distance, but focus on how your mind feels, and how you have a shift in thinking, and you know, building up that grit and persistence and resiliency to push through, and focus on that just as much, if not more, as you're focusing on the distance and the time piece as well. And those are just pieces of, you know, the habits that you and I have discovered, and the work that you and I have been doing together. So anyways, wanted to share that with everybody this week. All right. Did you look at comments? Have you looked at some comments?
Yes. And I'm following the rules this week.
Oh. I didn't.
Well, I knew that we both can break the rules every once in a while. It's not just me. But we had done last week, we love giving away gifts. We love gifting our community, and we had brought a little bit of sparkle to our community with some Hilbergenberg earrings. And one of our followers, Michelle, she actually took the time not only to tag a friend, but to compliment them and tell everyone in our community how wonderful they are. And sometimes, you know, I'll be a part of meetings and we pay each other compliments. We pay people compliments who aren't even in the room, and we don't take the time to actually go and tell that person that we think they're awesome and why. And so I just thought it was so wonderful that she took the time to not only tag a friend, but tell that person how meaningful they were.
That's awesome. I loved that one as well. I went back into the vault a little bit, and I took maybe your lead from last week of breaking the rules a little bit. And I went into one of the stories of that we did around extraordinary people. And it was the story around Jill Hansen and Cheryl Goudry, who we had featured together in a dual spotlight. And I just went back to Jill's comment about her daily habit of every single day when she wakes up, she offers gratitude to her body, and she thanks her body for all that it does for her. And it's just so powerful, and it's something I personally need to work on, and it's something that I want to instill as a habit as well. And I just want to thank Jill for not only sharing that, but she models that. I have the privilege of knowing her, and she's not just saying that. That truly is part of her practice every single day. So wonderful. Awesome.
Awesome. Well, cheers to having the courage to getting started before you're ready.
I love it. Cheers. See you guys next week.